Hello and welcome to another episode of EdgeCraft. I am your host, Matt, and it is great to see you today. So today we've got a little bit of a project. See, I am just about ready to build my storage system because I've got tons and tons of iron. The problem is I need lots of wood. Now behind me, you will see a little forest that I planted. And it looks kind of silly right now because I harvested most of the leaves to make my waterfall way over there. But I want to build an automatic wood machine, a wood farm. Now this will be incredible. But first, I need to clear out a space for it. So we're going to go right away into a super fast time mode to cut down these trees. So I will be back with you in a moment, but enjoy the show. Okay, and while we're chopping down that wood, I want to read a verse to you. A very important verse for this episode, and it's 2 Corinthians 12, verses 9 and 12. And what it says is, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weakness, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And the reason I bring this up, you might discover later in the episode, but the point of the verse is that when we aren't perfect, when we do things that aren't amazing, that's God's opportunity to shine and be amazing through those things. He says that my power is made perfect in weakness. And man, I sure do have a lot of weakness. I am not perfect. I will mess things up all the time in my life. I do my best. I try my best. I try to follow. But I mess up. And that's okay because His grace is sufficient for me. And His power is made perfect in my weakness. So I boast about my weakness and I say, hey, I am weak. I am not great. I am not perfect. And so I hope that you get some comfort from those verses today. Okay, so not bad. Let's check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 stacks of wood is pretty solid. And you might be thinking to yourself, now man, that's tons of wood. You don't really need any more. That's all you need to build anything. And you know what? You're probably right. That is probably all the wood I would need to build what I'm thinking about building. However, I still want to build my my tree farm because, well, to be honest with you, I'm going to be using lots and lots and lots of wood during the course of my time, and I don't want to have to keep replanting forests and chopping them down. So we're going to need to fix that. So I am going to gather together some supplies for this tree farm, and I will be back with you when I've got those, and we're going to go up on that hill and we're going to start putting this together. So I will be right back. Okay, so we are set up. We've got all of our supplies, a whole bunch of pistons, 49 pistons. We're actually, I think, only going to use about 42 of those. Block redstone, 3 observers, 21 repeaters, and a comparator, a dispenser, some chests, a hopper, bricks for building, a little bit of redstone, a lever, just lots of good stuff here. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to build a row of 9 pistons. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't want that piston there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, I can't build today. All right. So on top of these 9 pistons, I'm going to build another 9 pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, I think my game is a little bit glitchy today. This is just weird. I don't know why it's lagging so much. 7, 8, 9. And then, once you know it, I need to build 2 more rows of pistons. So I'm going to get up here and I'm going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't know why it keeps giving me these extra pistons all the time. Alright, and 1 more row here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I don't need these bits of dirt, so get rid of those. Then we need to take an observer. We need to stick that observer right there. We're going to stick a block in the back of that. So basically, later the trees that we're pushing are going to come all the way out to here. This observer is going to see it. It's going to shoot a redstone signal into here. And what's going to happen next is that's going to fire a piston. That piston's going to have a redstone block attached to it. And it's going to push it. And there's going to be another piston. No, not there. Well, it's going to be there. It's just going to be facing sideways back this way. So this is going to create a little bit of a on-off kind of a switch to push it this way. So it just gives us 1 pulse on these guys, and then this is going to push it back that way. So I'm going to get the supplies together for the next phase, and I will be right back with you. Okay, so next little bit is we need to wire these bad boys up. So we are going to use a whole bunch of stone, a whole bunch of redstone, a whole bunch of repeaters. This is going to be good times. So what we need is a whole row of stone there, not right there. Thank you. And we're going to do this again, like that. This is actually going to come out 1, 2, like that. We are going to stick repeaters into the back of all of these pistons. And we're going to put redstone from there all the way down, like this. And now right there, we need a repeater. And we need to get stone right there, and we're going to go boop and boop. We are also going to put a repeater into that bad boy, and that bad boy, and there. And we're going to set this, no, I didn't want to break it, I want to set it to 4 ticks and 2 ticks. So it's a total of 6 ticks. So basically after this thing runs for 6 ticks straight, it sends a pulse back into this thing to push it back to reset the system. Now, we also want stone blocks up here. No. I keep misplacing my blocks. Like this, and like this, just like on the bottom. And if you could probably guess that we're going to do the exact same thing that we did down at the bottom. The difference is that now we need some slabs, because we need to make sure that there is redstone that can climb up here from down there. And if we use a block, it'll block that signal. But that will connect. So we're going to run redstone all along here. And repeaters into here. And that's the last of our repeaters. And now, if I was to put a block in front of this observer, something amazing would happen. So if I stick a piece of dirt right there, did you see that? The bottom pistons fired first, the top pistons fired second, and this block ended up being pushed out. So imagine, if you will, that there are trees all along here. And finally, they get pushed to right there. All those trees get pushed out. Nice and simple. So that is the pushing out mechanism, so to speak, for my trees, which is going to create a nice big block of trees, basically, all across this space. And so I have this humongous block of 10, 11, 12, 13 trees. Basically, they can only push 13 trees that I can go and hack at with my axe. But it is nighttime, so I'm going to go to sleep real quick, and I'm going to get ready to do the next little bit. Okay, and we're back. So the next little bit is the part that actually spits out the bone meal. And so we need to use bone meal to help these trees grow nice and fast. So we're going to stick a dispenser right there, not a dropper, a dispenser. And we're going to put in this system here so that we can fill up this chest with lots and lots and lots of bone meal. We could fill up this thing so we can do lots and lots of trees all at the same time. Now, right here, we need a whole bunch more pistons. We're going to need observers. We're going to need redstone. I'm going to need a stone block in a moment, but yeah. Okay, so this is going to be fun because we need 4 high here. 1, 2, but we got to make sure it's 4 high. So 3. Let me get back up there. 3, 4. But then we need an observer up there. So we got to go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. And we're going to stick an observer right there, looking that way. And then, hello, there we go. We want a block right here. And this will stop the trees from growing too high because I don't want any of those weird trees like that one over there. That one right there is a great example. I don't want those. Those are too big. They're all over the place. I don't want those. They're oak trees, but I don't want them. So that's going to stop the tree from, if it hits that thing, it'll stop growing. So there we go. And then what we need to do is we need to take a block and we're going to stick it behind that guy so that when this sees the tree grow up, it shoots a signal out of there. Then this observer is looking up like that. And when it's got a little bit of redstone on its face, let's see if we can do that real quick. Little bit of redstone on his face like that. So that observer activates that block, which powers that redstone, which this guy sees. So he shoots a signal down here. So we stick a block right here and redstone right here. And basically that tree, watch this. Let's pretend this is a tree. And tree grows that high. Oops, I ran out of dirt. Hold on. Tree grows that high. And it shoves this part of the tree out. Now that part gets left behind, and that is okay, but you'll notice that this will continue. Let me see if I can build another pretend tree. When it, look at that. And then another tree grows up, and look at that. And then they just keep on going all the way over until they get to here, and then they get pushed out, and this is where we get our big giant block of wood that we're going to harvest. So, poop. All right, so we've almost got everything taken care of. We've just got a little bit more to do with this comparator and a lever. So I will be right back. The lever is actually just going to control this guy. I can do that real quick because if this guy is going, I want to be able to turn him on and off so that he's not always ticking away all the time. So that just gets annoying. But I will be right back because we have to create a system, a clock type system. So I will be right back with that. Okay, and we're back. And you may be wondering, Matt, why'd you stop the video? We were almost done. Well, I realized that I needed one more repeater. So I needed to go back and get that. So now that we've got that, here's the way we set up our little clock. We put this guy down, in subtract mode. And basically, if this thing has anything in it, it sends out a signal. Not a very strong signal, but a signal. And this comparator shoots that out into this repeater. This repeater then is going to take that signal and it's going to run it right back into the side of this thing to create a little bit of a loop that will run forever. But we also want that to power this guy. So we need to put a piece of redstone up here so that it runs to this guy. But we don't want it to run to this guy because that's our piston machine. So we just put a little bit of stone right on top of there and it blocks it off. So there's a look, can't get through. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that is actually the entire system completed. The only thing we need to do now is get it running with a little bit of bone meal and saplings. So we're going to do that real quick. And I need to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of bone meal. And I'm a little worried about that because in order to make this thing work, I need a lot of bone meal. And so we might have to build a skeleton farm next time. But for now, I'm just putting these things away so I can have lots of space in my inventory. There we go. Let's go check out what I do have. So I've been collecting bones. I've got 2 stacks of bones, basically. Let's see how much bone meal I can make out of those. 3 stacks there. Alright, that's not horrible. So a decent amount of bone meal. And let's see what we got here. We got almost 2 stacks of saplings. Now the good news is the saplings will regenerate as we use the machine because the leaves above us will break apart and create new saplings. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick all these things in there, and you'll see it starts loading, and it's going into here, and it's not shooting it out because there's nothing there. So that's annoying. We turn it off, it stops doing that. But it wasn't shooting things out anyway. But this locked this dispenser, so now it's not filling up anymore. So what we can do is we can just take some of this bone meal, we can just stick it directly in there. And that'll help. And now it just made that hopper and that chest a little bit useless for now. But I'm planning on getting a lot more bone meal. So we will do that later. But for now, all we have to do is we have to take this, stick it there, and when we're ready, we can turn this on and get this thing going. So I'm going to do this into a super fast mode. We're going to create a whole bunch of trees. I'm going to show you how this works. So stick with me and prepare for some awesomeness and enjoy the music. Here we go. Oh no! Oh no, something happened. Wait a second. Wait a second. Why didn't this work? Why didn't this work? Something is wrong here. I don't know what's wrong. I've got the observer up there. The observer saw the change. It should have updated these pistons, but it didn't. I don't know. Something fishy's going on here. Let me break this tree. Let me see. Oh, now it wants to do it. I don't understand. Why didn't you do it before? All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna leave you with me this time. Hold on. Okay, so far so good. Grow and something is not working. Huh. All right, I'll be right back with you. I gotta figure this out. Okay, so I needed to make some modifications to this because that system just was not working well. So I got a little creative here and I figured if I had a comparator here, the comparator would sense when the tree grows up, that would send a signal into here, which would then power this block, which would power this, powering that redstone, which would power this. Actually, technically, this is bug powering that. This would then send a signal here, which then powers this and all the way on up. And so let's see if this then works. It is a little awkward because I have to stand on top of this comparator in redstone, but you know, if it works, it works. So let's give this a shot and see what happens. If I do this, that comes out, and come on, tree. Tree? Hello? Why don't I have a tree? Hey, it worked! Alright, and so now I just have to place another sapling down there. That grows up someday. And I'm out of oatmeal. I've tried and tested this so many times that I'm out of bone meal. Fantastic. Well, it works. My tree got pushed over. Well, okay. So today was kind of a success, kind of a failure. I created a working machine. This is a little ugly, but it works. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to get a whole lot of bone meal. So I'm going to leave this project for another day. I mean, it works. That's fantastic. But now I need lots and lots and lots of bones. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going to get those. I suppose I need a, I don't know, a skeleton farm or something. Maybe we can tackle that in the next episode. But for now, why don't we just say goodbye in front of our, well, our working yet ineffective tree pushing machine that, yeah, you know, sometimes you try some things, sometimes they're awesome, sometimes they're not. Oh well. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I enjoyed making it as much as it didn't work. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. God bless.